Once upon a midnight dreary, as I pondered, weak and weary, over a mending quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly yet I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, the rare and radiant maiden, which the angels had named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad and certain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor, entering entreatance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is that I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, as so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I was scarcely sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. The only word whispered there was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," I said, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then where that at is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explored. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutters, when with a heart my flit and flutter, in stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obstinance made he, not a minute stopped nor stayed he, but within mine lord a lady, perched above the chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of its countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven," I said, "art thou sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is, from the night Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we can agree that no living human being had ever been blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door, beast or bird upon the sculpted bust of Pallas, just above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther did he utter, not a feather than he fluttered, till I was scarcely more than muttered. Other friends had flown before, and on the morrow he would leave me, as all my hopes have flown before. Then this bird said, "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless I said, "What is it utter? Is it only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till songs one burden bore, till this drudge of his hopes that melancholy bore, oh, this word of nevermore?" But the raven, still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door, and then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself in linking fancy upon fancy, thinking of what ominous bird of yore, what this grim, this ghastly, gaunt, ominous bird of yore might, in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaging, in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned to my bosom's core. This I sat divining, with my head encased reclining, on the cushioned velvet lining of the lamplight's gloated ore. But who is velvet violet lining with the lamplight's glowing ore? She shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from some unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled upon the tuffled floor. Wretch, I cried, thy ghast, thy God hath lent thee, by the angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite of Nefertiti, from thine memories of Lenore. Quaff, quaff, this kind of Nefertine of the forgotten, this lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet, still, if bird or devil, whether tempted sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horrors haunted, tell me, I truly implore, is there any balm in the guile? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, I said, thing of evil, prophet still I, if be bird or devil, by the heavens that bend above us, and by the gods we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within distant Aden, it shall still clasp the saintly maiden, with whom the angels had named Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels had named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee out back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token, or lie that thou hast spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thine beak from out my heart, and take it from off my door, quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, is still sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, and his eyes of the seemings of a demon that is dreaming in the lamplight's glowing ore, streaming, throwing shadows on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.